In this session, I'm going to tell you what is the Automation Studio tool which Marketing Cloud provides us, and what are its activity, and what we can do with the Automation Studio. So let's start this session. So as you can see, this is the dashboard of the Marketing Cloud homepage, and if you want to go to the Automation Studio, then you just need to navigate via Journey Builder and then Automation Studio. So yeah, as you can see, this is the layout, or this is the homepage of the Automation Studio, and there are two tabs available. One is the overview, where we can see each and every automation available to us. This is the folder section, and these are the automations which are kind of which shows the status when it was last run. And if you want to know the whole status of the Automation Studio, then you can just click on this palette, and as you can see, uh, the next one will be shown over here, the status and all other things, like when it was last modified. These things comes on the screen. So, and under the activity section, we have the activities which we use to like configure our automation, and then the process happens. So as you can see, there are mostly these main activities which we used in the Automation Studio to create our automation to perform some task as per our requirement. So yeah, as you can see, there are mainly 1 2 3 7 activities available over here. And yeah, so what this I'm going to tell you in this session, like what each and activity does and how to create the activity. So basically, in order to create an automation, we just need to create its activity first. So as you can see, the very first email activity is send email. So as the name suggests, it is used for the email sending purpose. Like if you want to send email to a target data extension or to a particular audience on frequent basis, like if you want to send an email on hourly basis and weekly basis or weekday basis, you can schedule you can just create the email activity, send email activity, and then use that activity into the automation. So as you can see, just click on the create activity and then send email. Yeah, here first step is you just need to select the content, like the template which you want to send to your audience. So I'm just using this one as for the reference. So in here you just need to provide the name, and if you want to change or save it in another folder, you can just create a folder or just browse from here. And this is the classification part, like from which sender profile you are going to send, you want to send your email. And then next, here is the audience part. So here you just need to select, you have to select the audience to whom you are going to send the email. Suppose I have used this one, and if I want to exclude any of the records like which exist in this data extension, and I want to exclude them as well, so you can just drag a different data extension which has the records you want to exclude, and then just move into the exclusion part. And then next, if you want to like the which tracking you want for your emails, and just track leaks, retain, send log data, you can select as per your choice. And then this information is correct, and check this checkbox, and this is the summary page of your activity. You can check, you can just confirm like each and everything has been configured correctly. So at the last, you just need to finish, and then your email activity will be saved over here. Yeah. So next thing is import file. As the name suggests as well, import file is used to import any specific file or any particular file from the FTP server FTP server which you have configured in your Marketing Cloud settings. So So what import file does is like when you start the automation or run the import file, what it does is like it will import the data from the FTP and then save that data into a data extension, or if you want to save that data into a list or all subscriber list, then you can do that as well. And from the setup page you can access the FTP for this account, like for your instance of Marketing Cloud. Yeah, under the data management you can see like FTP account, file location, key management. So if you want to import any file from the FTP, then you just need to create FTP account first and then uh, uh, create the import file activity. And let me show you. Yeah, I have created few of these, so I'll just show you. One more thing, like apart from creating the import file from here, you can also create the import file via Email Studio under the interaction tab. So like if your user is integrated with Salesforce Sales Cloud environment, you can also import reports and the objects data into the import as well. So as you can see under the interaction, we have the section available over here, import. Like if you want to import the reports data of from the Sales Cloud, so you just need to create the report into in the Sales Cloud environment, and then just what you can do is like create the import from over here. Like these imports are already created by me. So and then you just need to associate that this import with the particular report which you have just created. So as you can see in this, I have imported the records of account object. So as you can see, the Salesforce import currently maps account to the accounts import data extension. And also like if you are going to create an import, it will create a data extension with the same name of the import which you have just provided into the name section. You just need to provide the name. If you want to send notification like whenever the import completes, so you can just check this checkbox and provide your email over here. And here you just need to provide that file naming pattern. Like if you have a name within, if you have an if you have a file present on the FTP with the name of like test import, and then you just need to provide that name over here .csv, and then if you want to like change the date format and delimiter, so you can just do that as well. As you know, as you can select, this is the required field. So I'm not aware of the let me, I'm not sure if any file with the name present on the FTP for this account. So yeah, the next part is like the destination. What as you can see in the previous step you just selected the source, and now the part comes is like you have to choose the data, choose the destination. So you can choose the list as well as your data as your destination where the data is going to be saved or imported, and you can use the data extension as well. So as of now I'm just going to select any of the data extension, and then this is the mapping area where you just need to provide the data extension, like whenever the imports run, what action is going to be happen, like if you, that is going to be to add the new data only, or the add the new ones and update, and add an update or override. So this is the mapping section. You can map by header row. Like what this mean is like, as you can see, in my import there must be these attributes available. So this will automatically map the header, email with the email, first name with the first name, last name and email address, and so on, like if there are other headers as well. And map by ordinal, if I want to map map them by the number of, like the order of the attributes. And also here, if I want to map manually. So as of now I'm just going for this one, or just select the add and update. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the main summary page. So all of the steps which we have just performed are mentioned over here. You can just cross check them, and if everything looks fine to you, so you just need to finish and save the activity. And then further you can use the activity into the into your automation. So next part is like file transfer. What file transfer does is, like if you want to transfer a file to some particular location. So as you can see, use this activity to upload a file or download a file from transfer location that you specify. It is just used to like transfer a file to a particular location if you want. And this activity can also compress or uncompress a file. We can use the file transfer activity. And the next activity is data extract. What this activity does is, like if you want to extract the data from a data extension, so you just need to use this activity into the automation. Like there is a data extension and you want to extract the data of that data extension to some other location. So you just need to create this activity and use it in automation. You just need to provide the name, external key and the file naming pattern. External key is like uh, is a field which gets automatically populated if you don't provide any value over here. So I'm saving my file, the file naming pattern with the test.csv, and these are few of the extract type, like what you can do while extracting the data. So as you can see, there must be an option available for the data extension extract. So if I want to extract any data extension, so here here what I need to is, like here I need to provide the external key of the data extension which I want to extract to the FTP export section. So by providing the name over here and just selecting it, if any of this is a requirement. So we just need to then select, and then next then the summary page will appear, and then we just need to uh, save or finish that to save this activity, and then we can use the activity in our automation. So now this is the SQL query activity, which is very useful for us, like which is very useful and majorly used in the uh, marketing cloud. So SQL query, what it does is, like it just works as our other our SQL query runs. Like we just have the option of the select and from where clause in the marketing cloud as well. We just need to fetch the fields from the data extension, and then what we need to do is, like we just need to provide the target where the data from a particular data extension is going to be fetched and saved into the another data extension. So I just show you the example which I have just already uh, created. So yeah, as you can see, the first step is to provide the name and the external query and the location, and then the next part is to write the SQL query. So as you can see, like the select ID, email, first name, last name, these are the fields which I'm going to fetch from the contact underscore Salesforce data extension. This is the synchronized data extension, means contact underscore Salesforce data extension consists of all the contacts records of that Sales Cloud environment which is integrated with my instance. So as you can see, I have already used the ent prefix over here because the uh, the business unit which I am currently in is at the child level. So if we want to access synchronized data extension which are present at the parent level, so we have to use ent prefix before the name of the data extension. And then third part is to provide the target data extension, like where these records are going to be saved. So I have provided over here the third step, and the data extension are the same, like the add, update, or the overwrite. So whenever I am going to run this query, like if I opt for, then what will happen is like the id, email, all of these fields will be fetched from this contact underscore salesforce, and they will be get saved into the context sync context data extension. So filter activity, what it does is like it filters out the record from a specific data extension. So what it does is like if I want 100, or if I have a condition like I want to fetch only those records where email id is not null, so where the record does not have any email id. So what I'll do is like I just need to first of all, I just need to create a data filter under the email studio and then subscriber section. Yeah, as you can see. So first of all, I have provided the source, like from where the records are going to be filtered out, and I have provided a simple condition over here, like this is a field which is present in the sales cloud, so global id is not empty. So the records where global id is not empty, those records will be filtered out and get saved into the data extension. So in the initial part I have done is I have just created a data filter as of now. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to navigate into the automation studio, and then I'll opt for the filter activity. So, so suppose this is the filter which I have created. So I'm just going to select this, and what it does is like it will automatically associate this filter with this activity, and then next. And yeah, here as you can see, I just need to provide the name and the external key, or if you want to, this is kind of optional field. So I just need to provide the name of the data extension which is going to be created from this filter, like the accounts empty data filter. So all of the fields or all of the attributes will be same as the source data extension, and the filter data extension is going to be saved into the folder where source is present. So suppose if my source is present under the salesforce data extension folder, so the filter data extension which is going to be created from this activity will be saved under the same folder. So yeah, so this is the filter activity. So um under the SQL query also does the same part, like we are filtering out the records and fetching them into another data extension, and filter activity also does the same thing. The only There are many differences in these, like we can just choose our fields and retrieve the data as we want, but in filter activity we just need to provide the criteria, and all of the fields got carried out into the target data extension. But in SQL query we have the more flexibility than the filter activity. We can provide and fetch the records of the fields as per our requirement. Yeah. And so this is the seventh activity, which is the script activity. So in this script activity, the only script as of now is compatible, or you can say is like available, is the server side JavaScript. We can only use server side JavaScript in this script activity for an email, or if we want to provide a script activity into the landing page. Like if you have created a script of to fetch out the records from, or to fetch the records, or to update the Salesforce Sales Cloud records on a particular action. So you can just write the script and then use that script activity into the auto in and then save it and just run the automation. So these are the main activities which are provided by Marketing Cloud in the Automation Studio. So after creating the activities, like if you want to send email, filter out the records, and if any script activity you want, or any SQL you want, so just create the activity over here. And then the final part, like to use that activity, you just need to create an automation. So as you can see, the if you want to like the you just need to schedule the automation. And these are the activities, like you can like the data extract activity, import file, import mobile contacts, and SQL queries, send email, script, Salesforce email send. If your user is integrated with the Sales Cloud environment, then you will be only able to use this sales like then only this Salesforce email send will be available to you. Send SMS, and if you want to like provide any duration, wait duration to your active or to your automation, you can use this activity. And the verification step is for the verification, like if you want to verify the previous step works correctly and the data comes in correctly, then you can just proceed your automation to the next step. So you just need to create in the brief, so I just want to um, complete the video. Like there are few activities which are present in the Automation Studio, and then you just need to create those activity first and then just configure those activity into the Automation Studio. And as you can see, and then you can just provide the scheduling as per your time zone, as per your time, and as per your frequency. Like if you want to run your automation only once, you can opt for this none, and also you can use this run once option over here. And if you want to run it on hourly basis, then you can see like these are the frequency which are available to us. And if you want to end it on like on a specific date, said that means like on this specific date which you have mentioned over here, your automation will stop. If you want to end it never, just you want just to keep it on running phase, you just need to select never. And then daily, weekdays, weekly, monthly, yearly, this is the scheduling is totally as per your choice. If you want to like as per your requirement, if you want to send any email on daily basis, then just opt for the daily basis. And if you want to run your SQL query or filter activity on hourly basis, then you just need to schedule your automation as per your requirement. So yeah, this is the you can explore more about the Automation Studio like on the Salesforce Marketing Cloud documentation. This is the overview. So thank you so much, guys.